what's going on back? It's your girl Drea, and this is like a little life update. Anyways, I am almost done with this program. I leave May 12th, and I'm going South Carolina. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna say where in particular, but I'm just going with basically some trusted friends and be a good environment to be sober and safe. And also, I'm gonna do a 2 week program, and yeah, it's not gonna be nothing long. I've already done some job interviews and I'm excited and I know where I'm going is gonna be good and I don't have to worry about being homeless again. So your girl is finally out the struggle, going back and forth on the streets. And yeah. And I feel like this is the best I've ever been with my sobriety. I remember about like a week ago I was having a little breakdown. I had some bad news and like a bunch of crap fell through and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be homeless again. And I'm like, I just want to relapse. And I told my best friend how I felt, and she told me, like, do it. I don't think she really read my text, but yeah, and then other stuff. And then my other friend told me they relapsed, and I was like, but I just couldn't relapse deep down, like in my heart. I'm like, I don't want to do this. It just, no, like I'm done. I'm done with drugs. And I made it past the 60-day mark where I always relapse. I'm coming up in like close to 70 days. So yeah, and then I'll be real with y'all, like the time I was sober for 3 months, I was still like smoking pot and tripping on, psychedelics and stuff like that. So it didn't really count. But this is the longest I've actually just been sober from everything. I don't plan on smoking pot. I feel like it's a gateway, because if I, if I do that, it's gonna lead to me stop doing like my coping skills, me being mindful and using my emotional regulation skills I have learned this past year, and I start just using that to cope because it makes me lazy. It gets rid of my will, and eventually pot does not work and then I want to use other stuff to cope and next thing you know I'm back to being an opioid addict. So I'm like, no. So I'm just complete sobriety. And I'm proud of that. It took me a long time to get to that point. I remember in the past like usually 40 days sober, I'm like, I was just start thinking about pot. I'm like, I can't imagine a life without that. Like, I'm gonna go back and do that when I'm finished with the program. And this is the first time ever in my life I'm like, no, I do not want to do that. I don't want to do anything that alters my mind to cope with. Even against like myself doing nicotine, I've been cutting back with that, and it's been very hard. I got dependent when I was in a relationship with my abusive ex girlfriend in San Francisco. Um, because that was so hard, and that literally helped me get by and smoking pot. It was so bad, and yeah, when I went to rehab, they gave free nicotine vapes and cigarettes, and that's how the habit got worse. So yeah, things are good. Best plan recovery. I've uncovered and processed a lot of my childhood trauma, stuff that I buried down, I couldn't remember. Um, I've finally like mastered the ability to be mindful. Like I know when I'm triggered and I know when something's wrong with me and I know when to step back and what to do and I'm actually doing it. And I'm doing so good and I'm proud. So that's my life update. I don't think I'm gonna be homeless. And I'm gonna be getting a job soon. And yeah, I can finally just rebuild my life. One problem I had about being homeless, it was hard to get a job. No one wants to hire a homeless person. And then I would get so like discouraged and relapse, and it was just like a mess. But now that I have support, I have friends, have a little family, very small. Things are getting really good in my life, and I'm even talking to someone, and that's nice, and just stuff like that. Like my life has gotten so much better. I don't regret going to rehab all these times and PHP all these times. And yeah, this is like the first time I'm completing the full program, and I'm proud of myself. And I mean, I think the first time I wasted my time with it. The second time last fall, it did really help and I learned a lot of stuff. And then this time, it's just been even more so and added on to that. And I'm really in the best place in my life and I'm happy. But yeah, that's it for this video. Bye.